Let's see the quick demo of Aspire with Angular. So here that my Angular app, and which have also API services over here, right, which is integrated over here. This Angular app is dependent on the API service, and API service also is dependent on this DB. And once you open this Angular app, so here's my Angular app is opening, and here just connectivity with the app services using the Aspire, and that build that application. So here once I'll do, let me just remove everything and just let me add it from scratch. So first let me add Angular, and once you add, now see the new add to do item is actually added over here, and there's a couple of more flexibility over here, like for example for Aspire. And once you add that Aspire in my list, so there's a options like I can just move it to down and I can move it to up. So based on this moving up and down, actually it will call this API, and API will be rearrange that data and then get fetch it over here. So everything actually it's handling on this API, and just UI actually just send the request, right? So that we have to implement. How we can implement, even if I want to just uncheck, so I can just uncheck it, right? So similar, actually already last time I just covered this for React app. So now I just covered or introduce this Angular app, and yeah, so that we will implement over here. So let's start to implementation. So before I start implementation, I especially recommend, if you first time visit my channel, which is .NET Real World Example, and here you can start with this session. Previously we just started .NET Aspire with the React app, so that you can get an idea like how can just integrate client app or server app, and integrate the API in this Aspire. So this is a good start from this session. Even if you want to more learn about the .NET Aspire, you can search from here that Aspire. You will get that more content for this Aspire related technology. And not only this, actually if you want to learn many AI technologies, how can build application via AI, or if you want to learn front end back end as a full stack developer, if you want to want create a clean architecture, and also you can learn many things in this channel. So yeah, let's moving for that implementations. So yeah, last time I just created that application, right, that Aspire app with the React. So I'll taking that same one, because unnecessary, I don't want to take more time. So just clone this app, right, because which I already just created API and then React and all so I will consider this repository and just add our Angular app on this app on here. Okay, so let me clone it. Yeah, so I'll already clone it over here. So what I can do, simply I just open it in VS Code. So what I can do, go to that particular directory, and I can, if I just already install the VS Code, so I can use this command and it will automatically open a editor, a VS Code editor, along with this complete solutions, right? So now my solution got opened over here. So first of all, I'll just want to add um, that Angular app, right? So for that Angular app, basically actually we just require that Node.js. So I believe that will be installed in your system, but if you not, just install the Node.js and then go to any terminal, and yeah, just open it the terminal. And here I can just make sure that you know uh, install Angular CLI globally, which is will be installed in your local with this latest version. Also, if you want to latest version, so you can just mention at the latest. So I'll just use that, so that whatever CLI Angular, it will available over here. So once you available, now we'll move it to create a project over here. Now it's just completed this command, and also install that 66 packages. And yeah, also just ensure you are in the root directory, right? So whatever that project in this root directory, so that I can create a new Angular app in here, right, as like this front end, to do front end, right? So let me just create a new app over here for Angular. So the command for this ng new, right, and I can use to do, so I can just simply use that name, like to do Angular app. This is my app name, and simply I can hit enter. And once you hit enter, now see they're asking actually couple of things actually. So if you want to CSS and also I'll use the CSS. So just simply use hit enter, and then also asking to style format and all, like do you want to server side and all. So as of now I'll just keep it no, and also no. And yeah, that if you want to that memories things and all, Google Cloud and all, Cursor, Gemini. So as of now I'll just skip that, and need to wait to complete that all that package, all the file in this root directory. So once done, now see all the package got created, and your also the new app got created over here, that to do Angular app. And once you expand, now you are able to see all that files over here. So for better before you start anything, so you have to just make sure like once you created your app, it is just is a workable position or not. So for that actually you can just simply run your application using that directory. So go to that directory which is to do, and yeah, that Angular app. So go to that your directory which is Angular app, right? And just simply I can just clear that over here, and here I can just use npm start. And now see this is running for this port. If you run this, yeah, you are able to see this is the default template actually for the Angular app. That's perfectly fine. Okay, and yeah, let me close everything and also just terminate this one so that I can just uh, start that modification over here. Okay, now just remove the terminal, or you can just go back to your root directory. So now my current directory is this, and my Angular directory is this, right? So just revert one step back for this directory in the root directory, and then let me do one thing. Okay, so first of all I'll just add our Angular app in that Aspire, right? So for that where is our Aspire project? This is my Aspire project, and in this Aspire project I need to add as like we have add for that front end app for this uh, previously we just add for React app, right? So similar I just to add up Angular app, so but not use this extension. We have that different extension. So like for example I'll use that add npm, right? So builder dot add npm. Okay, let me just close that. Okay, so use that builder and then add, so add npm. Okay, so this is the same package which we have been using last time, like extension package. So you can just use that extension package in your project. So which is this, right? This is extension package, so you can refer that. So this will be allowed to all that one. Okay, so yeah, go back to your app setting over here, and here. Okay, so here what you can do, we have to use other setting as like web reference with reference, even for bait for, because so that bait for this. And also we have to use that with npm package, so that automatically run npm install if node module is missing, right? So these are just normal things which is fine, but actually we have to add additional things, okay, so that our application can run. So for that we have to use another one which is called http endpoint. So http with the http endpoint provide that environment and the port. Okay, so in this case it will provide that endpoints this Angular app. And one more extension you can, if you want, you can use the, but that is optional. So I'll just make it the optional, right? And this can use if you want to create a docker package, docker file for this Angular app, so you can use this. So using this published docker file, so if you want you can use this one also. Okay, but yeah, this is the optional, so I keep it like this way. That's it. Okay, so these are setting actually we required from this in your app Aspire project. That's it. And let me show you it running. Okay, so once you're done, let me try to run and see what happened. So for run actually you can directly run this using Visual Studio, or you can just using .NET run and specific this project, Aspire project, and you can run it. And another way actually you can run simply using that, install that Aspire CLI, and then you can Aspire CLI and then Aspire run. Now your application got running over here, so let me open it. And here see, first time it is trying to install npm and all, but it is failing, right? So why it's failing, we can check it over here as well. So go to that console log, you can see that app services, to do front end and all, actually that's missing, right? The dependency actually that missing. So that is perfect, that's why I'm just trying to open so that you can see that what is the issue. So issue is that whatever the dependency I'm just trying to add in Aspire project, that is actually wrong. Okay, so if you close that, if you go back that Aspire project, now see over here. So if you look here closely in this section, see what I just mentioned, work directories which like to do Angular app, right? And I just created, see, there is a spelling mistake, right? So that's why it's not match, and I'm getting that error. It is not properly dependent. Actually it is dependent, right? So but that is not available. So yeah, either is you can just change the name, right? And or you can just correct it over here. So as of now I'll just correct it over here. Like what is that, I guess, yeah. So this would be, or just make it copy over here so that we can avoid that another exception. Simply save it. Okay, save. Now control C and then run it again, and let me open it. And now once you open, now see they are waiting to install on that npm, and now I'm able to see that endpoint of Angular, right? And not endpoint, actually we can say listening point, and just open it. So once you open, so I think now see it's not running properly. It is running over here, but it is not appearing over here. It's why. So that also is flexibility. If you go to the console log, you can see this is your endpoint is this, sorry, listening point. So if you just open this listening point, so it will be open, but via that Aspire it is unable to open, right? So how we can fix it? So that is a challenges over here. So for that we have to do one thing, just close us everything, and you have to go this package.json. Where is that package.json? Yeah, so for package.json actually we required little dependencies so that we can start our application. So first dependency is actually we have to add a one package, which is this. Okay, so run script os, actually this package actually needed for that. And once we add this package, we have to configure a little bit over here as like over there, right? So just simply I can use that uh, start to that script, right, for that package from this package, and I can just start with 32 build or default with this. That's it. Okay, so yeah, those setting actually required to this, so that your Aspire actually support and open your applications, right? And once you're done, now save it. And so what I can do, simply I can close that, right, and clear everything and save it, proper save all the place. And yeah, one thing I see something is missing, so yeah, let me run it again. Okay, and just open it. Okay, it's waiting, now it's running. If I see console log, yeah, it's running properly. Yeah, also now this time see it is running for this script os, right? And now I am getting this listening point, right? Perfectly listening point, right, listening point. So for that what I can do, simply I can just hit this guy. Yeah, now I'm able to open my Angular app, right? So the setting actually you required in your package.json, so that you are able to connect in Aspire listening point over here, right? So now we are good to start. Now we can integrate our APIs in our Angular, and we have to show that all that whatever actually last time we have built for this React app, right? Like this nice look, and also if user want to add, so they can add and update and delete those up and down to-do list, right? So same things we have to implement so that you can get an idea, like if you integrate any client app in an Aspire, so how you can just consume your APIs, and then you can just integrate in your front end app application or back end application, or any other application. So for that, what I can do, what we will do actually, so yeah, I have to create one proxy configuration, right? So let me just create a proxy configuration class in here, in this Angular project. So on this proxy, so this is that file, actually proxy.config, whatever file, actually you can just use as JS file, and then we have to use this, then we have to write few lines of code which will handle your APIs. Okay, and see, this is that process environment I just set for our services dot API services, whatever our services, and similar I can just use for HTTPS and HTTP, and then also just use that environment, which is a whatever environment you want. So I just specify the environment and path redirect to that APIs, right? So just simple proxy class, and this proxy actually file we have to use in our, actually this is a concept of Angular. So if you new to configure and start a Angular application to any API, and also I think you have to go to my all other previous session. So I will go to angular.json file, and in here you are able to see that development setting, right? So if you scroll down, so if you see in this subsection, right, in this angular.json file, there is a default configuration, right? So this default configuration, you have to change it to you have to just add that whatever newly we added that proxy configuration, right? So we have to add over here so that they can refer, and then all that API calls will be directed from this place only. So for that we can just simply use that. So I'll just add this option. So this is a configuration as a options, and then provide that proxy configuration, and add your proxy configuration.js file which we just created over here. That's it. Okay, so once you're done, now this part is completed. Now we are able to use any API call in our applications. Okay, so now we will do implementation our component. So right now we have that app component, right? This is a main as a uh, as a default component this is providing. So here that HTML, all that CSS, so I'm just expand that, and this is the similar like that. And what I'll do, I'll just there's a very big CS style and all, so I'll just remove everything so that I can start from cleanup code, right? So let me just remove this guy, save it, and if I check how look like, yeah, now it's very clean this component. Now we can easily start our things. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll just make sure yeah, I think that's fine. I just start from my app.ts file where I can just consume our API, right? So for that, simply I can just use some dependency. I'll just record some dependency, like for example I required that HTTP client. Okay, so for that I can just simply create a constructor over here, and in this constructor I can use that HTTP client, so that whatever call actually I want, so as I use the HTTP client, and this one is required the dependency, so I can just add a dependencies over here. So yeah, I think VS Code not allow me to add directly, but yeah, I can just use it for HTTP client from Angular import, right? So I can use this import, and yeah, now we are good to go use for this HTTP client. And yeah, I can just I have to just create a to do class so that I can use it uh, for my as a model, right? So I'll just to create the to do model over here, which will have that id, title and positions. And yeah, and what I'll do, I just simply use that on initialize method, right? Or just simple we have to create, one load to do list. Okay, so load to do list, actually I can just simply create over here, just create a one list over here, one actually function which can get that API, right? Call that API and to do API, and it will return back, and just simply use it over here, right? So yeah, I think yeah, so this dot to do's actually we have to define somewhere. So let me just define in our constructor, not our constructor, actually initial level. Yeah, that's it, right? And yeah, we are good. Like simply just call this API to do, and but get that list result, and just assign to in our to do list. That's it, right? And this to do list I'll show it over here in our HTML page. That's it. So like this is that Angular concept, and I want to show you one more thing actually. So this one actually I have to call it, either you can call it directly over here, but I'll just implement that lifecycle hook method, so that I can use it those things. So let me just simply implement this on in, and here I can just create that, use that package, right? And I have to implement that lifecycle hook method. So yeah, implement that interface. So this is my interface, and in this interface I can call directly this method. That's it. Cool. Now this is set up for this API with the HTTP client, and one thing I would like to check it, like, okay, so now if I'm just calling this API, I'm getting that response or not, right? So that I can just ensure over here using that console dot log, and then yeah, just make it, just pass it to result and see what is the result is coming over here. And if I using that HTTP client, right, definitely we have to resolve the dependencies, right? And for the dependencies also, this component actually we should make it to injectable, right? And if I make it to injectable, definitely I use this package. Okay, so that injectable package. And yeah, pretty much good. And one thing actually I have to configure in this app.config.ts file, so that our whatever call, right, http whatever dependencies and injectable, right, so that can resolve the dependency. So for that actually we use that http client, that provider dot http client, and also we have to add that package. That's it. Okay, so once you change everything, right, and then simply you can just run. So before run, make sure all that file, whatever you just file, actually you just change it so properly save. So save, or you, if you want, so just close it, so that all that file properly saved. Sometime I just faced, okay, if this file is not saved, so I'm getting some error. So just make sure that. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply run this Aspire application and see that API is interactive or not in my client application. So open this, and yeah, as of now, so let me check first my API log over here, console log, or stretch. So see, trace is nothing over there. So what I can do, uh, open it, my Angular app. So open it, Angular app. Yeah, Angular app is open, and if I go back and go to the trace, now see the to-do list is calling over here, and I'm getting successfully result. And same things I can check it over here. If you just go to F12, now I'm call this API. If you network tab, if you just refresh, see to do is complete to 200, along with that empty response, because currently it does not have anything. Okay, so that I can check like this way, because we already have that front end application like React application, right? So if I add over here, like for example it is React, right? So if I just add a React, so that now this should be return that data. So if you just F12 and if you go to that network tab, go to there, and now see the data is appearing right now. That means that API is perfectly working. So now we have to implement that features over here so that I can, in Angular actually I can just add, update, delete, or whatever that feature is available in React, so that I can just use it over here. So for that I already have the design and all, so I don't want to line by line, I don't want to write that code line by line, but yeah, I will explain everything. So go to that app.html. So before that at HTML actually go to that app.ts file so that I can make all that, all that services. First let me consume all that services. So I'll just complete this load, load to-do list. So similar I'll just create for add. So let me create for add, and also is a new td new title item. So let me add this guy over here on the top here. Yeah, that's cool. And now second method would be like toggle completed, so use that toggle completed. And now another function we have to create for delete. So this is the delete. It's simple, just calling to all that APIs, nothing have to do special. Okay. And yeah, another one is move one, which will be move your to-do list to up and down. So this is for up, so I want to up that particular item, so I can just use calling this API. And if I want to down, so I can use that down. So it's just pretty much simple concept for call your APIs over here in Angular. So just call on over here and set up, then we have to design in our app.html file, like HTML file, sorry. And in here I'll just make it the design. So for design I can just use this one inside to tape. Okay, yeah, so this is my design. It's pretty much simple design, like for example, yeah, here I just create a to do over here, and this is add, I can able to add. And this is that UI list, like I just want to whatever item I just want to add, and then there's a couple of buttons over here, that's it. And these are everything is calling for app.ts file, right? So this is pretty much good. And yeah, I want to add some style in this over here so that our app can look as an attractive look. So just add some styles over here. You can just prepare your style, but I'll just add my style. And yeah, that pretty much good, I guess. So let me go back here. If I just refresh, and yeah, currently might be it's not working. Okay, so let me close that and save it. And yeah, I think this is actually same thing. Like, see, all that file might be sometimes not properly saved, so that's why this issue. So you can just simply close, and once you close, now see they are asking to save it. Yes, I want to save. Now save. Yes, that's it. And then now we have to run it. And let me open it. Yeah, wait for running. Once you run, let me open this. Yeah, now see, now looks wise it's pretty much good. And if I want to add, like for example it is Angular, right? So let me Angular add. Yeah, I'm able to see Angular over here, that functionality, also all that functionality working. Let me add Aspire. Yeah, Aspire is also available. And if I want to move up and down, so if I want to down to this Angular, so I can use this. Now see, Angular is down, and if I want to Angular is up, so I can just up it. And similar things .NET, sorry, .NET. Okay, and .NET, yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much good. And .NET would be in between. So yeah, in between. And same things we can check in our React app. So see, whatever add I just added over here on this Angular side, so that data actually also is available in here, just because we are using same API service and all. And yeah, pretty much good. So that that's way actually we can integrate our Angular app in our Aspire.net. And yeah, that pretty much good for this session, and on upcoming session we will add more front end applications and more back end application like server application like MVC or other application. I already added that that Blazor application, so you can just see over here. Okay, I just missed that navigation part, but yeah, this is that one. So yeah, this same application I just integrate and Blazor also. So in upcoming session we will do more and more in this year. So till now, thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.